The Heart and Heart Disease, A Personal Perspective by Owen Jones. Narrated by Kim Summers. Published by TekTime. Greetings. Hello, and thank you for buying this book called The Heart and Heart Disease, A Personal Perspective. First of all, I have to stress that I have no medical training, and that whatever you read in this booklet is my own personal understanding of what I have either read, seen on TV or the internet, or have been told by all sorts of people, from my granny to a bloke in the pub, to even one of the many doctors and cardiologists I have seen over the past 3 decades. Some of the advice I have been given may have been incorrect, some may have been garbled, and some I may not have understood, or I may have misremembered. By reading on, you are deemed to understand what I have written above, and will exercise your own due diligence and caution in accepting the following chapters as being true or otherwise. Having written that, I will do my best to present you with the facts as I understand them, but always check what I write with your doctor or cardiologist before being so rash as to act upon what I say. As far as I am concerned, my conscious relationship with my heart began when I was 40. 4 memorable events occurred in that year. I got my first responsible office job, I joined a philosophical dining club, I started wearing spectacles very self-consciously, and I was put on blood pressure tablets. I now live 5,000 miles away from that club. I am 30 years on from being 40, but I am still wearing glasses and taking the tablets. Such is permanence. I remember as if it were yesterday, my doctor advising me 40 years ago that I needed to lose weight and get much more exercise. Otherwise, I would need blood pressure tablets, and that once I started on those, I would have to take them for the rest of my life. He suggested using my 30-minute lunch break to briskly walk the half a mile to the 3rd nearest greengrocer's, buy a piece of fruit, and walk back to my office. Up until that point, I had been used to getting a past-year pie from the baker's next door. Quite often, my secretary would get it for me. A couple of months later, I was put on atenolol. It did the trick, and I swapped going to that distant greengrocer's for crossing the road to the nearest one, and returned to eating pies, but only 2 or 3 times a week. I hope that you will find this booklet helpful, useful, and profitable. The information in it is on various aspects of the heart, the potential problems it faces, and related subjects. It is organized into 18 chapters of about 500 to 600 words each. If you have any feedback, please leave it with the company you bought this book from. Thanks again for purchasing this book. Regards, Owen Jones. 6 interesting facts about the heart. 1. Heart and circulatory diseases cause 1/4 of all deaths in the UK. That's more than 170,000 deaths each year, an average of 480 deaths each day, or 1 every 3 minutes in the UK. 2. There are around 7.6 million people living with a heart or circulatory disease in the UK. 4 million men and 3.6 million women. 3. Coronary heart disease, CHD, is the most common type of heart disease. It is the most common cause of heart attack and was the single biggest killer of both men and women worldwide in 2019. 4. In the U.S., heart disease is the leading cause of death for men, women, and people of most racial and ethnic groups. 1 person dies every 33 seconds in the United States from cardiovascular disease. 5. About 695,000 people in the United States died from heart disease in 2021. That's 1 in every 5 deaths. 6. The most common type of heart disease in the USA is coronary artery disease, CAD, in which the major blood vessels to the heart become narrow or blocked, with cholesterol and fatty buildup. CAD affects 18.2 million adults, and shockingly, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, reports that every 2 in 10 deaths from CAD happen in people under 65 years old. Inspirational quotes. Believe not in anything simply because you have heard it. Believe not in anything simply because it was spoken and rumored by many. Believe not in anything simply because it was found written in your religious texts. Believe not in anything merely on the authority of teachers and elders. Believe not in traditions because they have been handed down for generations. But after observation and analysis,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?